All right, what's going on, everyone? My name is Brendan, and I've seen a lot of speculation lately as to why the Dallas Fuel are playing like complete trash cans. Now, some people are saying it's because their coach is trash. Other people are saying it's because they haven't had the necessary players to play well up until this point. I'm here to dispel all those rumors. The reason why Dallas Fuel are playing badly is because their shot calls are complete trash. Since their shot calls are bad, they don't have a strategy going into the fight. And since they don't have a strategy going into the fight, their engagement timing is off so often that they lose so many fights that it's actually making them the worst team in Overwatch League right now. Now, this video is going to be a little bit longer today because it's tough for me to show exactly why their communications are poor. So I'm going to be showing several small examples throughout this gameplay against the Philadelphia Fusion, and hopefully through the accumulation of all these examples, you will start to believe what I am saying. So the first thing here is that Taimu and Mickey do a good job forcing the Philly Fusion tanks off of the high ground. It should be said that the Dallas Fuel just won point A very quickly, but they accidentally stacked their support ultimates. However, since you are playing Overwatch at the highest level, you should be able to accurately track the enemy ultimates. You should know that Neptuno has his ultimate right now. And you should know that since the Genji just used Dragon Blade, sorry, I forgot to mention that, Genji actually Dragon Blade on the first point. Since Genji used Dragon Blade, the only person Neptuno can possibly nano on the side of the Fusion is the Winston player. And when you nano a Winston, what are they going to do? They're just going to dive onto your backline and try to fuck shit up. So you have two options if you're the shot caller. You can either hard engage, let your supports try to survive on their own. Custa tries to boop the Winston. If he doesn't succeed, Custa abandons his Zen and joins the dive while the rest of them immediately dive a support player. That's a hard engage. The other option is to not engage at all. Let their Winston dive into you. Try to melt their Winston with your Discord orb and lots of burst damage. After you kill the Winston, then engage. You only have two options. These options are not made very well. I should say some of them, like the members of Dallas Fuel, understand that these are the two options, but the option they want to take is not made clear. They don't know if they should hard engage or if they should peel. And so what happens is that affect Taimu and Rascal all hard engage against the Ana, but Mickey tries to stay with their supports up here. When you're trying to dive in Ana, you really need that diva to go with, because Ana has a sleep dart, Ana has an anti-nade, Ana has a lot of ways to really annoy the front line that's diving her. And if Mickey's defensive matrix were there, these would not be problems. So since Mickey is not there, Taimu has to pop Primal Rage to stay alive. Rascal gets really low, so Rascal has to come out here onto the balcony and get the health pack. And what happens is that Fraggy, the Winston, is actually going to follow... I think I might be able to get a frame of it here. Is actually going to follow Rascal onto this balcony. And so what this does is essentially takes Rascal out of the fight, because Rascal has two options. He can either try to dash through this guy after he gets the health pack, but now he's already super far away from the fight, or he can take a long rotation on the high ground, which makes him super far away from the fight as well. Since he's away from the fight for so long, he's basically, they're just going to lose the fight because he's not going to be there. Boombox frags the fuck out and kills Chips high end. Taimu kills Poco, and Effect gets an unfortunate death due to the Poco bomb. But honestly, like, those mistakes aren't what loses the fight. What loses the fight was that extremely bad splitting on their initial engagement. However, all is not lost. You see that they're very close to a tick right now. So if Dallas Fuel are able to properly target focus on point, they'll be able to at least get that tick, which will put them in a better situation for the next fights. However, their target calling is trash. Custa is a Lucio, and these two tanks are alive. Custa on Lucio is alive, and the two tanks are alive. Custa cannot apply high ground pressure as Lucio. He can't fucking wall ride all the way up here fast enough. So what needs to happen is that Dallas Fuel needs to stay on point, and they need to target focus on point. What happens, though, is that Taimu jumps the high ground spontaneously. Mickey sees that Taimu jumps the high ground, so Mickey tries to go with him to save him. It doesn't work very well. Mickey is too late. So since Mickey abandons Custa on point, Custa dies. Since Mickey was too late to joining Taimu, Taimu dies, and Mickey's the only one left, so obviously Mickey's going to die. So in summary for that fight, the reason they lose is because it's not made clear, like, hey guys, we need to fight on point. Fight on point. That's the shot caller's job to call that. Fight on point. They don't do that, so they get hella split again, and they get picked off one by one. So Rascal switches off of the Genji and onto the Soldier. This makes a lot of sense because Fraggy likes to dive really far ahead of Poco, so if they can shoot Fraggy, like get a lot of burst damage on him before Poco arrives, they can win the fight. It also looks like Effect is being put on Tracer versus Tracer duels, because Effect is really trying to fuck Snillo up. This is just an unfortunate fight though. EQO builds his Dragon Blade so quickly, he knows that there's no support ults yet for Dallas Fuel since they burned them both 2 fights ago, so he's able to get a free Dragon Blade and kill off the entire Dallas Fuel. That's not a big deal though, like sometimes you're just going to lose fights if you don't have any ultimates. Next fight though, Dallas Fuel are looking a lot stronger with both of their support ultimates. Once again, they're going top right. This is really the only possible play to do on Hanamura. And Effect is going on Tracer versus Tracy duty again. He's going out onto this balcony. This is actually a humongous mistake. Here's the reason. If you're going to take the Tracer duel, what you need to do is you need to stay very close to your team, like either here, slightly behind, or slightly ahead, or slightly off to the side of your team. And you need to wait for the Tracer to engage you, and then you meet them head on before they can engage your supports. Effect goes really, really, really far away from his team here to try to engage the Tracer early. Either that or Effect was thinking that they wanted to dive the Ana again. Either he was trying to get in a sneaky position to flank the Ana, or he was going really far out of his way to engage the Tracer. Turns out the Tracer is not even over there. Snillo is going up through this window, and Snillo is going to hard engage the backline early. Again, though, like ignoring the Tracer shenanigans, look at how this dive is executed. Both supports and Rascal on Soldier, are really, really deep, way back through this door, away from the fight. At that exact same moment, Taimu and Mickey try to dive the Zenyatta, it looks like. But they have no sustain, they have no heals with them, they have no extra DPS with them. So even if they kill this Zenyatta, they're going to get themselves so far behind enemy lines over here that the enemy tanks are just going to be able to dive them and kill them off. And at the same time, the DPS are just going to dive their backline and kill them off. Like, there's no way for Dallas Fuel to recover from this situation. Because usually what happens is that if these guys start to get damaged, they say, we need peel, we need peel, we need peel. And these tanks turn around and jump back to peel for their backline. But since they're so far separated and so far split, they're not going to be able to peel for each other. The healers and the tanks need to work in like a symbiotic relationship. They need to heal for the supports need to heal the tanks, and the tanks need to keep the supports alive. This is basic fucking Overwatch. But what happens is that the Dallas Fuel keep getting so fucking split that they can't synergize in that way. Another fight, basically, is lost because of that poor shot calling, that poor engagement. They get really split and they get picked off one by one again. Effect is doing a good job isolating Snillo, because Effect is just a straight up better Tracer. So look, when Effect is able to fight Snillo one-on-one, like he has been here, he's winning the duels. If he positions himself better, he would be able to just annoy Snillo the whole match. But what he keeps doing is Effect keeps going too deep on his own to annoy the Zenyatta when he sees this opportunity. Why is this a big deal? Well, basically this means that Effect, there's no way for him to join the dive. If Dallas Fuel is hell-bent on diving this high ground over here, Effect has no way of engaging with that dive. He just can't do it, because he's so focused being like fucking all the way over here. He's across the fucking map from the rest of his team, so he's kind of just off doing his own thing, trying to solo carry. That's fine if you're taking the Tracer v Tracer battles. It's not fine if you're trying to solo carry the team like he tries to do right here. And he gets killed for it, trying to solo kill Boombox. However, Dallas Fuel still have a ton of ultimates. They can still win this fight if they use their ultimates properly. They retreat out of this door a little bit though, AQO dies to Chips High-End. So now this is Dallas Fuel's opportunity. We have to fucking engage. Engage right now. It's on the target caller to say, okay, we're going to engage this target in 3, 2, 1, boom, burst them down. That's what you need to do. What happens here, though, is that Rascal engages the fight like 4 seconds early. Rascal's on this high ground before his tanks jump up. This is terrible, because now Poco and Fraggy, all they see is Rascal. They're going to obviously focus Rascal. There's no tanks there to keep Rascal alive. At the same time, Effect is now dead, so no one is peeling, so no one has like that tracer pressure on Snillo. So Snillo can come from behind and just shoot Rascal from behind. Rascal needs to time his engagement so that he comes up on this high ground at the exact same time as his tanks dive. There's no vocalization of this though. There's no communication as to when to dive. So Rascal retreats. Rascal actually falls back at the exact same moment that his tanks jump up. They get split again. Look at this. Their tanks jump up the same time Rascal turns around and runs away. It's just yet another split engagement. As a result, they're just going to get fucking wiped. They don't use any ultimates, even though they had a huge advantage. And look at this. This is just hilarious. This is just hilarious. It's just Mickey, Taimu, and Custa alive against like 4 of the enemy team. There's no way you win this fight on 2 CP with those really great respawn, with that really great respawn advantage with that Philly Fusion. But Mickey and Taimu are caught between 2 mines. There's no one that tells them verbally like, hey, die on point, die on point, die on point, or let's get out, let's get out. They both like awkwardly drop down here. They're not on point. They're just kind of looking at each other like, hey, you know, do you want to dive someone? Yeah, sure. Like, I guess we can dive someone. Too late. They both die. So it's just so fucking sloppy on these engagement calls, dude. Like I could show, I guess I will show more because it's just kind of hilarious at this point. But like you have so many opportunities to pick a target and dive them, but they either wait too long, or they engage at different times, or they get split on their dive because people don't know what they're doing on the team. Like it's not made clear enough what the team needs to do when. So Rascal, I remember hearing the audio clip of this moment right here in the match. Rascal kind of decides that he's going to be the engagement caller here. He pops his tack visor and he says, go, 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 dive, dive, dive. But what happens is that Taimu and Mickey turn into vaginas. And instead of diving the team, they stay up here. They just try a defensive matrix when Rascal is tack visoring. Here's the deal. It doesn't matter if the enemy is using Transcendence here. It doesn't matter. Taimu and Mickey need to dive anyway. The reason is because Dallas Fuel have support ults to where if the tanks get kind of melted in this fight, they can follow up with the support ultimate and keep them alive. In fact, since Philly Fusion used Transcendence first, Chips High-End has a huge value Transcendence now because whoever pops Transcendence second gets more value. What happens though is the tanks stay on the high ground. It's not made clear that they need to dive hard enough, or they heard it but they just completely ignored it. So instead they back out yet again, and they still have all these ultimates that they didn't use when they had a great opportunity to do so. It's just another instance of not knowing when to engage and where to engage. So now Taimu's kind of separated from his team. He's a little far forward. He's taking a lot of poke. They dive up again. Great job. They dive together. They force Fraggy off of the high ground. Fraggy gets nano boosted, and now they have the exact same situation as they had fucking 20 or like 10 minutes ago. Either hard engage or group up to kill this bitch. Chips High-End pops Transcendence. That was probably the right thing to do here since Fraggy was nano boosted. But now what they should be doing is fucking hard engaging. Okay, Taimu jumps in, but yet again, I don't even know what Mickey is doing here. Like, I have no idea. Like, he's not with his supports. His supports are on the bridge over here. Like, around the corner over the bridge over here, like on the high ground. He's not with the dive. He's just on his own. He's split. People need The Dallas Fuel needs to fucking talk, dude. They need to say, Mickey, Taimu, Effect, Rascal, we're gonna shoot this person now. Are you ready? Yes, 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 yes. Boom. Dive. That takes like a second. Taimu can just say, I'm diving Ana. Are you guys ready? Yes, yes, yes. Boom. Instead, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. So Mickey gets hella split from his supports. His supports get bullied by Fraggy. They get booped on the low ground. Custa Panic uses his ultimate. Poke does a great job of booping everyone into the moat. What should happen here is that Taimu and Mickey, who for whatever fucking reason is over here, should be jumping into low ground to save their supports. And they can wait for their cooldowns to be back up and they can jump back onto the point. Instead, they get hella split. Again. They get super, super split. It's so obvious in a second right here. Look at this. What are they doing? Dude. They're standing on point, but they're shooting people that are off point. Like, look. This is just so basic shit. If you're going to fight on point, you shoot people on point. If you're going to fight off of point, dive off of the point and help your team. You can't get split like this. You can't fucking... Half the team is on low ground. Half the team is on high ground doing their own thing. It needs to be clearer what members of the team need to be doing on every fight. They need to be having more clear shot calls, a more clear strategy. Who we're diving, when we're going to dive, how we're going to respond to the enemy ultimates, where we're going to position ourselves to respond to those ultimates. It seems like everyone is playing reactively. Some people feel like it's a good time to ultimate, so they're going to ultimate. Some people feel like it's a good person to dive. It's a good time to dive the Ana, so they dive the Ana. No one is synchronized. No one has synergy. And that all comes back to the shot caller, who I believe in this case is Custa, and the responsiveness from his team. They have to say, we're going to dive this person at this time. Ugh! Dude, I'm just beating a dead horse at this point. Time is separated. The rest of the team is separate. It's just, I'm not even going to talk anymore about this shit, dude. It is, I'm fucking infuriated. Look. Look. If you're playing a dive comp, shot calling and engagement targeting are two of the most basic aspects of team play. And if you don't have them on lock, dude, if you don't even have a general fucking communication structure of who is calling the engagement targets, of who is strategizing, of who is shot calling, if you don't even have that in place, dude, you're going to lose every fight you take. And that's exactly what was shown here. There was no clear plan. Half of the Dallas Fuel dove, half of the Dallas Fuel peeled. You cannot do that. You're going to get punished for those splits at the highest level. If the Dallas Fuel don't do something about this soon, if they don't get their shot calls in order, if they're not more specific with their strategizing, they're going to be the worst team in the Overwatch League until they fucking overhaul their whole roster. I know this video is basically one gigantic rant, but I feel like I'm watching a fucking tier 4 open division gold only enters open division for the $10 kind of team right now. They just don't have the most basic of puzzle pieces in play. Alright guys, if you want to see more rants like this, I suppose, like I don't know why you would, I literally just bitched and moaned to the camera the whole time today, but if you actually enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe. I'm going to be making more of these. I'm going to be making another video later today about Runaway, because I fucking love my boys in pink. Until then guys, I'll see you later.